All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Good evening, everyone. This is yours truly, Dr. Fabulous. And we are, how can I say, we're moving in a little slow tonight. Pollen has got me. So if I start sneezing, everyone, my co-host will jump in. Lady T, they got to be on it because I'm not feeling the best, but I'm here. I'm bringing all the love all the way from the 305 to the 912. You name it, I'm going to bring it and give it to you. So, good evening. Good evening. I'm going to turn it over to Lady T. Lady T, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Fabulous. I can hear you. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm coming live from the 305. And Dr. Feelgood, I have missed you so with that sexy voice. And I am excited about tonight, guys. Let's get started. Now over to you, Dr. Feelgood.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Feelgood, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. Coming to you straight from the 571 where I'm having fun and I get things done. My rhyming is always on point because I am the joint. So you can't smoke me, but I get it in every day. Now, turn it back over to our CEO and president, Lady Ma'am, Dr. Fab. Get it in.
All right, y'all. Let me tell you a little bit about Upscale Love for You. Upscale Love for You is formulated to entertain, educate, and facilitate self-help and to tell you everything and anything you want to know and wish to know about love, relationships, dating, and marriage, etc., etc. We are here for you to talk about sensitive, hot topics. We are here for just a great conversation. So if this is your first time, don't let it be your last. But I rest assured we will definitely have a blast. So without further ado, tonight is a little different. We're going to talk about something that I'm sure most of you have had during your earlier childhood days, and that's called a crush. How many of you know what a crush is? Well, the definition of a crush tells us that it is a brief but intense infatuation for someone, especially someone unattainable. You know, sometimes you can like someone and you just can't get close enough to touch them, feel them, smell them, but you are so infatuated about this individual. So, without further ado, we're going to talk about if you ever had a crush on someone and didn't know how to get to them or express that to them, or if someone has had a crush on you. So I'm gonna slide this over to Lady T for a moment while I run get something to drink because I don't want to get choked on Upscale Love for You. So a further ado is over to you, Lady T.
Welcome, everyone. So the crush. I've had a crush on someone, and I've had someone have a crush on me. So, I mean, it's quite simple. You get nervous, you get butterflies, you're giddy. So, how would I tell that person that I have a crush on them? I simply come out and say it. I feel like, being direct is the way to go, but not everyone can take that. What about you, Leanne?
Put me on the spot like that. Okay, so if someone had a crush on me, they would have to let me know. And I had that before. And if someone has a crush on me, I try to figure out if they are on the same page that I'm on. If I had a crush on someone, I will let them know. I'm not gonna try to beat myself over the head trying to figure out you know, if you like boy meets girl. When you have a crush on someone, you think about it all the time, but you don't want to think about them if they're not available. So you're not going to waste your time thinking about them until you find out. So if I had a crush on someone, I would definitely let them know. Hello?
Well, all right, great, Leanne.
Okay.
I'm gonna just jump back in here and tell you all. I had to jump off to get something to drink because I was feeling a little choked. But it is said that when you have a crush, you're really infatuated with someone. And to be infatuated by someone, and if you really don't know them, what is it that makes you think that this person is going to be interested? So, when and if you have a crush on someone, the very first thing I think when I would meet this person, I would say, what is your impression of me? Because you want to feel them out. Even though you got a crush, you got to play like, let me see what it's all about before I really put it out there that I have a crush on someone. So I'm going to ask Gerald. Gerald, can you hear me? Jerome. I'm sorry, I was saying Gerald, but I meant Jerome. Jerome, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Have you ever had a crush on someone?
Yes, I have.
Did you ever make that crush known to that individual?
No, no, I'm shy, so no,
So
I've never,
you
I've
held it
never.
in. You're gonna take it to the grave.
Yeah, so I'm never the one to like approach. Because I'm scared of rejection. So I've always, if I like someone, I will never like approach them or do anything. I just, wait for the day that they wait for the day that they approach me, hopefully. But if they never do, then I will never do. I've never approached nobody. Everybody
So
that I talk to always came to me. Yeah.
you'll just keep it under the table. You'll keep it under wraps until they
Right.
make the first move.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay, so that lets me know, man, you look, you'll be single a long
Right.
time
I
because
know, right?
this day and age, people waiting for you to say something, then you waiting for them to say something. So what's gonna happen? It's not gonna happen. That's what the deal is.
Okay.
Leanne ain't gonna help him out. That's what's gonna happen.
Leanne gonna help him out.
Leanne is going to
Okay.
approach that person for him. Yes, she will.
And sometimes it's great to have a mouthpiece because you
Yes.
know how you have that shy person in the group and you all go out, but they dying to meet this person, but they won't say a word. And you got that old big mouth friend that'll say, hey, honey, listen, my friend right here is so interested in you, blase, blase, blase. Well,
No,
this
no, 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 no. I
It's
have to
me.
find out
That
their
is
style
me.
first.
Well,
I gotta find out their
Dr.
style
Fabulous,
first.
uh-huh.
I wish I could say the same thing, but I have a crush on a lot. It's a lot of mine during my time and child age that I had a crush on. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, I went to him. I went and got mine. It ain't a whole lot.
Oh, but going on now.
It ain't
Well,
a whole
well,
lot. I ain't gonna be
excuse me.
around the
How
bush.
did you get yours?
My honey, I got a game that's real strong, shout. I have a conversation first.
Uh-huh.
And my conversation gonna lead when my conversation lead to is gonna tell me how he feel by the way I talk. And once I get through talking, if he decide to get together, then I know I'm already on the ball.
Well, all righty then.
And
So
and I honest and Tasha, you know better than anybody.
it's all in the conversation, so you say.
Yeah, they can't do
Um,
that. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna let you know what I am. You're gonna see what I am when I come to you anyway. You understand? And hey, where I'm coming, and once we have our conversation, my conversation it's gonna be about us trying to hit together, whatever. You either say yes or no. If you say no, I'm fine with that. But so far, I ain't never had a no.
Oh, shucks now.
hashtag 1-800 Uncle Tim.
Oh, sucky now.
Yeah.
So, all right then. Uncle Tim say it's all in the conversation.
Yeah.
Now, Jerome said that he never would approach anyone because he's afraid of rejection. So, how many here tonight can honestly say that they are afraid of rejection also? Come on now. So, Jerome is the only person that's afraid of rejection.
Oh my God, I'm the only one. Oh, Nikki
Okay,
said
so
her. Nikki said
okay,
her.
now is this our Nikki that come all the time?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
all right then, because I was getting ready to say I know it's not my sister Nikki because she's so into planning her husband's 55th birthday party. I can't get her to do nothing but deal with that old 55th birthday party. But happy birthday to my brother-in-law Johnny way before time. But nevertheless, back to our subject at hand. When you have a crush, Uncle Tim said it's the conversation. But when you meet someone, you can kind of feel the chemistry just a little bit. And I don't care what you say, the more that you're around that individual, Leanne, you can kind of tell, hmm, is this going to go somewhere? At least you think, am I going to try it out? Am I going to lean that direction? Because everybody always say, I wonder what would have happened if you never. So, Jerome, take it from me now. Don't be afraid of rejection. If you meet someone or if you see someone and you start crushing on them, you got to take that first foot forward. Because if you don't, you're going to always think, well, I wonder if I should have or not. So, this conversation came about from last week because we had a young lady on the conversation last week, and she said she has a crush on someone, and she's not here this week. But Tasha, Lord, let me tell y'all, grandma is always grandma. I got my grandbaby tonight, and she doesn't care what is going on. When she won her Meme time, I know you all saw her head, but she sat back down. But nevertheless, yes, okay. Can I just get one of my co-hosts to take over for me? Give me 2 minutes, and Dr. Fabulous will be right back.
Well, one thing's for sure, we are live. All right, Dr. Feelgood, what are your thoughts on this topic? You're on mute.
I put the meaning of crush in there. Can you hear me? Can
Yes,
you hear, can you hear me, Lady T?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I put the meaning of crush in the box. Um, the biggest thing right now is that everybody has a secret crush and an open crush. But the thing is, though, is the only time people actually do approach it, they give what's called choosing signals. Choosing signals are those covert and overt nonverbal movements or even verbal movements that signifies that a person is interested in you. That might mean snuggling close to listen, touching people, not inappropriately, but touching people more than you would everybody else. Um, saying, a little hot flash, a little something that says, hey, there's something different about this person. And a person who's understanding in communication and body language and the spoken language can pick up on that. That's why some people like, well, but guys mainly have secret crushes. Um, Women have public crushes because, um, somebody that's really is unattainable, and it's an infatuation because in the 70s, all the women wanted Billy D. Williams. Yeah, y'all remember him, right? In the 80s, it was Philip Michael Thomas, um, even Prince, Rick James, people like that. Now it's Idris Elba, early 2000s, Morris Chestnut, and all those other Michael Ealy. Um, women openly pine for those type of guys. Guys are a little more subtle. Guys are a little more subtle. They say, well, I had a crush on Whitney Houston back in the day. I called her my next ex-wife. Another one was Gabrielle Union. Before Dwayne Wade, she actually
Did
left.
you say Whitney Houston?
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh.
When she came out with "You Give Good Love," hey, don't talk. No, she was bad back in the day. Pre-crack, because crack is whack.
Lord forgive them.
But like people like that, I had a crush on Janet Jackson when she was on Different Strokes. When she was Charlene, had a big crush on her. But you don't really tell everybody. Guys do have them, but we don't openly like, yeah, I want that. That's and then and we're not big on, we're not very subtle on that. You want to marry Chris Brown? Hey, that's good for you, Lady T.
Absolutely. I want to have some babies from him.
All right, handle your business. Handle your
no
business.
more for you. No more for you.
But
please, no more for her.
That's what I look for. That's what I see in a crush. A lot of people have like I said, what they call choosing signals, and you can tell. You can tell if you know what you're looking for. You can tell. It's not hard, but people do not like being rejected. Does that mean that they won't stop? Because sometimes you have to be somewhat persistent in order to get what you really want. If you can't wait for Mr. or Miss Right to come knocking at your door, talking about I've been looking for you. Sometimes you got to put yourself out there, and somebody's gonna say no. Not everybody's gonna say yes. Not everybody's gonna say no. But you have to be. You basically selling yourself. Even in a crush, you're selling yourself. Somebody sees that product.
So Dr. Feelgood, I have a question for you. How would you put your stuff out there?
Look, I just walk up to people. Said you weren't at the ball. You weren't at the masquerade ball, but I was walking around, just sat down and started talking to people. Hey, I'm Dr. Feelgood. I make it real good, like a man should. I mean, nothing. I was just being nice, but that's how you do it. You just walk around. Because I mean,
tap me on with that little line. Okay, I feel you. I see how you get down.
But you know what? That's a double standard, because a woman can't walk around and say, "Hey, I'm Dr. Fabulous and I make it feel good." They'll say, "Where this here hooker coming from? How much she charge?" So it is a double standard. Men can
it's not a double standard per se, but you would be looked at differently. Now, I'm not saying that you walk up to every dude and do that, because that's not what women do. But if you see somebody you like, it doesn't hurt to go up to them and say, "How you doing? I'm so and so. I've noticed you, and would like to get to know you." There's nothing wrong with that. That's they
shoe bed, dude. Shoe bed.
And see, I agree with him on that, because that is showing a person right there. If you get a conversation with him and he side agree to also have a conversation with with you. And if that conversation lead into a longer conversation and y'all just sitting there chilling or whatever, if he take that time and you decide to want to hang out and he agree to it, then that's something that's a part of getting started to see what it is. Because if he didn't find, if it's something, whether it was a friendship or what is attraction or whatever, if they chose to spend that time when you asked them to hang out with you, then that's something there. So somewhere along the line, he must have had some kind of, whether the feeling of hanging out with you because he agreed to it. So that's your first start. So I agree with him on that. Yes, if you get the conversation, that person, because if somebody come to me and like, hey, dog, I don't know him, and hey, how you doing? It's a reason that person came and spoke to me, especially when I never spoke to that person. And then if we decided to hold a conversation and then chose one of us make a suggestion to hang out and that person agreed, then that right there is how you take it then. But whatever you bring to him, make sure you bring that stuff to the heart. But then once you lead yourself into a situation, because you also want to know about him, and that person might tell you something about him. You might want to get into the conversation of what you think about certain things and see what things he bring up or she bring up about other stuff for your opinion. And that's going to lead you into which way, how to approach him about it. Because if you do it that way, if it's something that you might have a crush that he might not have, or she might not have, by the time you get through with that communication of y'all hanging together, it's going to tell you right then, is that going to be, if I'm obligated to tell that person exactly how I feel, or is that person really not interested? But if y'all start spending more time together, then yeah, somewhere you need to let that person know exactly how you feel and what you think or whatever. And if that person chose to still hang with you, that's fine, no matter which way you go, and whether it's sexuality or whatever. But if that person chose to hang with you, that person ought to be honest with you. Okay, no, I don't. But I mean, I like your friendship or whatever the case may be, and we can keep it at that, then that's good. But if that person don't, then hey, you move on. Because everything in life and always gonna be like, we don't never get anything in our life our way.
Okay.
Everything we see, we might not get.
Well,
So, but it's
Uncle
not gonna
Tim,
stop us. It's not gonna stop us from keep moving and keep on trying. It's to keep going that make you stronger than to give up, because you might end up seeing it's like having a crush on someone that you might have a crush on and never know, and then that chance that crush you might have might come out to be something, but you won't know it till you find out.
But you know what? I think things are different now. I think people are more comfortable with themselves to approach others. And I think the ones on the opposite side, they're more open to listen. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, okay, right. But then also how you approach that person and how you come out with words to that person. Because
well,
you got some of them come out there like they in control, like they got to do this and they all this. No, you go and what you bring your heart gonna tell you what to do. And your heart the one gonna help you find out.
but listen to
Okay,
this.
Beard One, welcome back. We have totally missed you.
Yes, we have. But I was getting ready to say something. This young lady, she had a crush on the guy. She talked to him, this and that and the other. And he communicated with her. But guess what, you all? He never told her that he was married. And her crush grew stronger for this individual because they were spending time together. They would go to movies, dates, this and that and the other. But he was married. What do you do in that type of situation? Because here she is crushing on a married man and did not know that he was married. Leanne, you got your hand up?
Yes. Okay. So she never asked him, was he married?
I guess she
Or
did
did he
not.
lie to her? Okay. So the moment you find out that a person is married, whether you have a crush on, I mean, even if you have a crush on them, and that's not what you want, you let it go ASAP. No questions asked. Just let it go.
And that's what I say,
Just let it
because
go. We're not looking
I
for that.
figure when you
I
meet
agree with
someone,
on
that
that.
should be your very first conversation, asking if they're married.
But because people lie, and once they find out, regardless as to how in depth they got into the relationship, thank you. You just let it go immediately. Just let it go. You could go home and cry for that night, but you'll be okay in the morning.
And see, that goes back to my favorite saying is on the first date, you should go with the 21 questions. You ask questions. I don't care about their feelings. You're on my time. Find out, are you married? Do you have children? How many baby mamas? Where do you work? How's your credit? I mean, you should go on and on, because why would you sit here and enjoy his company? Because when you talk too much anyway, a man is going to listen and they're going to take what you said and turn it around. And then you're in too deep and you're falling for him and then find out he's married. I don't think that's fair.
And I agree with you on that, Lady T, because that's whether it's any kind of relationship, whether you have a crush on someone or any relationship. A second coming relationship will never work. Period. If you can't find somebody that's alone, that's got them, nothing else, a job, own place or whatever, yeah, it's a chance that might go a ways. All depends on how much y'all know about, how much y'all willing to get to know about each other. But long as you got a second party in any kind of relationship, whether they married or not married, or they just got kids, it ain't gonna work. It really ain't, because it's gonna be, how I can say it, it's gonna be who get more attention, who who get control more out of the one of the two when one is in the middle of it. And that's where the problem comes in. When it's a child involved, hey, ain't nothing you can do. That's gonna be a problem, because you never know which way it might go, and as long as that child involved, is that person gonna all gas. Ain't no whether that person don't have nothing to do with that person, and that person got something. But you got to understand, as long as he's in that life, and he got to be there, because that's his child. There's something you can't
So are
stop.
you saying you don't want to date a person with children?
Well, no, I don't want to date a person. No, I don't want to date a person with children. I don't want to date a person that's married.
Oh, but of course not. You
Right.
definitely
That's
don't
why
want
I
to date
say,
a person.
right. That's why I say I agree, because for that same final reason, what I'm saying is, when you do that, you putting yourself in a position that you don't deserve or don't need to be in.
No, what
Okay.
I'm saying is on date one, when you all go out to dinner, you should ask those questions up front. Because why would I sit here and ask you these questions like 10, maybe 12, dates down the line? No. I feel like date one, you should ask all the questions. Therefore, you know how to move from there. Once he say, "Oh, I got 5 children with 2 baby mamas," or
Oh,
something
I'm
like
go
that, or
right. Yo, oh
or
no.
I'm married, but we're separated. No, it's time to move on. You
Right.
shouldn't sit there and be
Lady
going
T, you
to the
can't
movie.
you can't
Can I say
ask
something,
all the
guys?
questions on the first date, Lady T. You can't.
Yes,
You
you can.
you shouldn't.
Are
You may run them
you are
off.
no, no, ma'am. You are
You got.
securing your future.
I
You
know, but
need
you
But
to
got to
know whether you want to
li-
go to the next level with this person or not.
right,
And
but you got to
Lady
somebody
find
else,
out if
T.
you're
can, can,
mixed.
can I
Lady
answer
T,
what?
that
you
for a
mean to
second,
tell me
Lady
you
T?
asked your husband all those questions the very first time you met him?
I
No,
sure
you didn't.
did.
I know you did.
Yes, I
Quit
did.
that.
Yes, I
Can I say?
did.
Well, we guys, we have to be realistic. When you reach a certain age, you expect the person to have kids. When you're over 40, or approaching 50, most likely the individual have kids already, male and female. So for it be a deal breaker, the person have kids, you want to date them, but you have kids already. I don't think it's fair to judge a woman or a guy if the one have kids and you don't, or you have kids and other person that has kids, you want to date the person, but you want a person to accept you if you have kids. Does it make sense?
What my
Yeah, but then
statement
also you
is,
can,
Yes, that makes sense.
but also you still, then here's the other kicker. Also, you don't worry about asking him questions. You tell him what you looking for. And if all them questions you give him, if there's anything in there got to do with what I'm telling you, I'm not trying to get into. And so that lets you know as we going down the line, if I find out anything, any new use, you calling me. So you need to let me know if you got any of this. We ain't got nothing else to say. Because no matter which way you twist it or no matter which way you go, he gonna still answer the questions he want to answer the way he want to answer. Just to let
correct.
you know how he going. You feel what I'm saying? And all along, like it's both, it's vice versa. You're never gonna get everything when it's somebody you trying to get or you trying to be with. But
Well,
yeah, it's gonna take time because which it does. You never know who you with, who know somebody you with, or whatever the case may be, it's gonna eventually come out.
well,
And trust
Uncle
me,
Tim,
men and women know how to hide stuff very well.
Yes, yeah, and my point exactly right. So
so
it's still a gamble.
when we talk about the 20 questions now, because if you're on a date and you're getting to know the individual, how well is the date going if you're having dinner and you sitting down going down a checklist, one question after the other? I can't even see that being realistic
No,
because
you're
it's
having a conversation and you're talking to that person. And they're like, oh, okay, are you married? And he'll say no. Okay, nice. Okay, so how many kids do you have? You don't just say, okay, married, yes or no.
oh,
3 kids,
okay.
4 kids.
Because I was
No,
getting ready to say that 20 question would just really make me
you
get up
can
from the
roll them
table and
20
walk away.
questions into
I
a
need a
nice
list. I need a
casual
list.
conversation.
I need a list of your 20 questions.
But see,
I can narrow down.
I understand Dr. Fabulous too, because right, and my point is exactly what I was trying to. And Tasha, yeah, you Lady T, you all right. You ask the main questions. You ain't got to go through all. You ask the main questions.
Yeah, you got to get some main ones
Any of them
in,
main
of
questions,
course.
any of them main few questions you ask should tell everything. That's if that he wants you to know them questions.
The
He
Let
wants
me
you to
answer.
know
tell you something.
right. If he
My
wants you to know
first
the answer.
divorce, let me check y'all real quick. I went on the date. Oh, this guy sounds so nice over the phone. Baby, when I tell you, we met at I think it was Olive Garden. Okay, first date, Olive Garden. No, that was a negative right there. Then the
Now,
table
why
we're
was it
talking
a negative?
Who chose
Olive
the
Garden on
place?
the first
Who
date.
chose the restaurant?
He did.
Then you should have said, I prefer.
No. That's what you don't do. I'm trying to feel him out.
Okay.
So, of course, Olive Garden it's okay. But anyway, I'm at the table. I'm going through my questions, and I find out he had like 3 baby mamas, 7 children, and he was married. Okay, now what happens if I didn't ask those questions? I would have never known. So I just went on to play, just played along. I could not wait until that night was over. When I finally finished the night, he talking about, so baby, can I see you again? I say, I don't think this is gonna work. And I went on about my business. So when
Okay, but
when you have a crush on somebody,
those are pertinent questions, and I'm okay with some of them to find out how many kids you have. Are you married? Those are definitely pertinent. But you got 20 questions, or you were just saying 20 and it's not 20?
And especially about their
no, I
credit.
have a lot
Some
more.
people are almost cuss you about asking them about their credit. Because
Their
credit
credit
is
and how much money they make, and do they own a home, and
certain
all of that
things you
other stuff.
just, you just don't ask a person that. You can kind of feel them out And you can tell if a person is living from paycheck to paycheck or penny to post
Not
without
maybe not
knowing.
on the first date, Dr. Fab.
No, not
No,
on the first date, but
no,
if
credit
you're
is the
around them for
second
some
date.
time. Because
Yeah.
I just feel like if a man would ever ask me, well, how much do you make a year? What's your credit score range? My first question will be like, why are you asking me this? We're not buying anything together, and my income is not your supplement. So therefore, you have no reason to ask me that. So I think certain things you just don't ask people until you get in a real relationship. And when I say a real relationship, you're dating that person for a time. Okay. Nasty Jackson, are you here?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Can you hear me, Nasty Jackson? Well,
I can
this
hear it
is
out and
what,
clear.
okay. So we all have had crushes, whether you crushed when you was young, crushed when you was old. But has anyone, and I'm gonna start with Nancy Jackson, have your crush ever turned into a real relationship?
No, it has. I was too shy at the time when I was a
Okay.
youngster.
Okay. Is there anyone here, Beard One? We had somebody on here with just the letter P. I was getting ready to ask what did that P stand for, but I see they're gone, or either I can't see them on my screen anymore. Big E, can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. That's a new name on the board. Um, Marlena, can you hear me?
Yes.
Have you ever had a crush on someone that turned into a relationship?
Um, no, I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
so. I like celebrities, and no, it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. So your crush is like real far-fetched. It's not a reality
I
crush. It's a far-fetched kind of crush.
don't know about far fetched, but okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost like Dr. Feelgood with Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Okay.
that's Chris Brown. Chris Brown.
Well, baby, we're gonna have to share him.
Oh, you can have the weekends.
Both
I'll
of
take that.
are you all are still living in a saga that's something definitely won't ever become true, especially with Chris Brown. Okay, so is there anyone else? Nikki, have you ever been in a crush or had a crush on?
You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am. I have had someone have a crush on me, and I had to let him down gently. And I think everyone should let people down gently because you don't want to um, crush their feelings. You want to leave them in a good spot so they don't turn around and go into a shell when they tried their best to come out of the shell. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, I understand that because you know what? You don't want to turn them down too hard, like Lady T, but I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Feelgood at this time and take it over, Dr. Feelgood.
Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's Dr. Feelgood. You know my steez. Um, Unrequited crushes. A lot of times we do have a crush, and the person actually knows that you're crushing on them. But they ain't feeling that way. Like Miss Nikki said, you know, sometimes you want to let them down easy, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. The biggest thing is that you have to have compassion. Don't get upset at somebody because they like you. I mean, it might be inconvenient, it may be annoying sometimes, but you got to realize that not everybody wants to express their feelings for you. Some people like you and don't really want to like you. So it's always good to be nice to folks. Let them down easy. Be that, you know, but don't tease them. Don't don't manipulate someone that has a crush on you. You know they have a crush on you to do stuff for you. For example, guys, if you have a young lady or a mature lady that you're with, and you know she's crushing on you, she'll do anything for you, and then you have her go into the store for you and bringing you stuff whenever she comes over, that ain't right. That ain't right, because you know you're not going to return those feelings back. And ladies, y'all all got that one dude that's orbiting, at least, that you know you call him a friend, but you know if you were to call him at the what I like to call the bitching hour, which is about 1:30 a.m., saying come through, dude would drop whatever he's doing and come through, even if you ain't giving him none, just for the thought that he might get some. They be playing like they your friends, but you stringing them along, and they trying to play your friend to get there. So have you ever had a person crushing on you that you really wasn't feeling like that, but yet you kept them around? Let's go to Big E. Can you hear me, Big E?
You're on mute.
What about you, Nasty Jackson?
I think they're just listening right now because I think maybe some of them do have crushes on people and they have not yet expressed or come out of their
Can you
shell.
repeat question, Dr. Feelgood?
Yeah. The question is
I think you call him Big E first.
have you ever kept a person around knowing they had a crush on you, and basically just used them?
Then I got this shit here.
Not necessarily, you know. I don't believe in using people because, but I had, yeah. I mean, it was good friends, but no, not the using part.
I mean, okay, now let's
You told me use a person benefit, like do favors or
yeah,
try to get to the individual.
yeah, not, I'm not meaning like using, like you just saying that's my weed girl or that's my food girl.
Oh,
I'm talking about like, you know, they like you more than you like them, and but you keep them around. You keep them around.
oh, for the benefits.
Yeah.
I think we all have at some point in our life, you know. Most men have, you know, when
Not
you're
the
in the
most
single
men,
days.
but
I guess when you're single, I mean,
Nasty Jackson.
Well,
I'm
he
just
has
being real,
a point. He has a point. Men do it too.
That's true.
Men
Yeah,
do,
you have
men do it
somebody
too.
that can cook. You have someone that can
because
clean.
because
You have
remember, because the
someone that can run
expectation,
to my back. Yeah.
yeah, because expectation is that as the standards, the individual, they put the standards so high so you could do the bare minimum and still get a benefit. That's what it's like. We what the phrase said, have the milk before it's something along that line.
why buy the cow when you get the milk for free?
Yes.
Well, that's the same thing when people shack. And that's why I tell most single women, why go live with a man? Because you doing that live in housework, maid work, wife work, and guess what? You none of the above. And they
And then
break
what happened? And what happened is you
they
shake up with
leave
the
that one
support.
and go on and find them a woman and get married.
And when they do that, they become the guy become the bad guy. Like, oh, you didn't see it coming, but it happens, you know.
Yeah.
I think what happened is when you're in a relationship, I think when a guy chases a woman, in most cases, it'll work out better for the woman than the woman chase a guy, because I like guys like to conquer. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of man nature. I feel like we work and earn it. You know what I'm saying? Versus hand it to most men.
And also there's also a level of attractiveness thing to it, because
Correct.
For ladies find 80% of men not attractive, not sexually attractive.
That's a high
And
number. 80%. That sounds pretty.
no, it's about
extreme.
80%. It's about 80%.
Is that true?
Y'all better step up your game.
Okay, Cupid did a study on that. That women that
Send me the article.
yeah, I'll do that. I gotta find it, but I just looked at it the other day. It's a little old, but it's about right though. 80%, 100%, 90% of the women want 20% of the men, the guys who have, because there's one thing or another that women find unattractive in a man. Not to say all men, I didn't say all men, but in a man, because a man can look like, I'll give you Idris Elba, but if he's 5'2", how many women are going to be attracted to that?
But you know what? I'm not going to say that, because most women, they will cartel what they're really looking for if the man treat them right, if they're intelligent, it's certain things. Whereas some men say, okay, I'm not going to date this woman because she's over a size 12, and they stick to their guns. Whereas I won't say 5'2", I'm going to check them out. But if they're nice and at least 5'8", 5'9", they might, get some playtime.
But also women like security as well. Security is number. I think women want a man who could provide for them and taking it. Security is, I think, number one reason why a woman would want to pursue a man or entertain a relationship, because you're looking at long-term benefits. You know what I'm saying? Can a man take care of the bill, treat like a lady, provide and protect? All these different things that women want in a relationship.
But
and also,
what, Nasty
Dr. Fab,
Jackson?
Yeah.
Dr. Fab,
Wait
and
now,
also,
Nasty Jackson. Let me come back to him. Most men are looking for the same thing now, because
They stay on.
they're not
That's not true.
looking for just that pretty look, that
They looking
small
for that
waist and
pension
big hips
plan.
no more. They looking for what you got to put on the table as well.
well, yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes,
And
pension
let me
plan.
explain. Let me explain, Lucy. Let me
They
explain.
want that BBL. Go ahead and say it.
Now, here's Feel Good's take, and it's not take of every man, because I can't represent every man, but the issue is that women when they're younger, in your prime, when you was in your 20s, and your mid 20s, when you were at your peak, you had guys coming at you from every direction.
What you mean?
So
at your peak, I'm at my peak now.
No,
I'm just
no, doctor.
I know what you mean. I think Kevin Samuel said it best. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, like hear it. Like women are in their peak when they're from, I think, 18 to 29, and as a guy get older, his stock goes up. So when a guy's young, he doesn't have much value. He hasn't bring anything. He hasn't produced or earned anything to show that, hey, I'm a high value kind of guy.
Right, and you went to Clark back when it was Clark College. When you pledged,
it was Clark College.
Yeah, when you pledged AKA back in '83, you all them, you came out, you had Greeks and non-Greeks hollering at you, because I know you was a little fine thing back in the day, like super
I'm
duper.
still fine. What you trying to say? Real good.
No, Dr. Fab. I'm talking about the mature you.
I know.
Had some fineness,
Still fine.
but no, wasn't like the 23-year-old me ain't the 57-year-old me.
Right.
Understand?
Basically your prime, the prime stock.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the options that women have when they're younger are greater, and then their guys, and guys that they look for are not who they might want to marry per se, but they get the choice. They get the choice of men who come to who they allow to see them and be around them. Okay. Whereas guys, in college, guys can be the nicest guy. I mean, there's some guys that were so nice to women, and women treated them like furniture. But that's just how it is. It's not. I mean, I'm not saying that they were bad women for doing that, because when you got a plethora of choices, you ain't got to choose everybody. But as we mature, especially ladies, those, if you're not married by a certain age, your choices diminish. Not to say they go away, because if you're fine on the inside and outside, you're gonna still get attention, but it ain't attention from your prime. And that's kind of when you say, hey, feel good. Feel good got a good. He's a good personality. He do what he do, and I'm gonna get with feel good because feel good make me feel good. And he do it real good like a man should. But in college, you wasn't feeling feel good. You was like, yeah, he cute. He said feel good so cute, but he looks so lame in that polyester suit.
I'm done.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I mean is that a lot of times we crush. We have two different types of crushes, and as your choices dwindle, you get more pragmatic and practical with who you want to be with. Go ahead, Leanne. I saw your hand up.
I was laughing. I was trying to laugh. That's all. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
But
Go ahead,
can I say
man.
something? But also for women, right? The best time to be around most guys when in college, have the exposure around most men while in college. After they graduate in a real world scenario, the choices of men are limited. So a woman, if they want to find a right man or a crush, I think when in college is the best time to pursue, or not to pursue the man, initiate some kind of conversation so the man could pursue her. That's just my opinion.
And that's what
Oh, Dr. Feelgood, you getting that booty call tonight?
No booty calls, no booty calls. But I'm gonna pass it on to lady. I'm gonna pass it on to Lady T. This actually was good. But like I said, treat people with kindness and respect, and you can go to sleep at night without worrying about did you do the right or wrong thing. Like who you like, but be considered that what's good for you may not always look as good for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Lady T, it's on you.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. My motto is always be upfront and direct. As far as the crush go, I mean, I'm like Uncle Tim, follow your heart. I mean, if you're feeling somebody, you can pretty much tell through conversation. You can tell by their tone, by their body language. And if they're feeling you, I'm pretty sure they will send up some type of signal. As far as rejection goes, I mean, life is full of rejection. You work, you find some type of rejection there. You have friends, you have it there as well. I just think you should just let it roll off your back and keep it moving. What about you, Beard One? What are your thoughts?
I think Beard One might have.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the rejection part, is I always say everything relationship, as far as I'm concerned, is a gamble. You shot. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You never know what you're gonna get. You can meet somebody, have a first date with them. Everything coming out of their mouth can be a complete lie, and you'll fall in love with that lie. That doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, every relationship is gonna go that way. You sit back and, I've had crushes before, and I fell in love with what I thought. And then, after a couple of dates, I realized that that's not who they were. I was dating their representative. I wasn't dating the real person. And I've had a couple of crushes who actually turned out to be great and wonderful. We just end up going our separate ways for our paths. They split. So, when it comes to relationships, I can't say it's a concrete yes or no or left or right. At the end of the day, if you see somebody, you crushing on somebody, you finding out about them and you think they might be worth that shot, I'll take the shot on somebody that I think might be good before I take the shot on somebody who I have no clue about. You know what I mean? We're going to gamble either way it go. So why not take the 20% chance I might be right over the 0% chance I could be right because I don't know nothing about them. That's just me personally, though.
Okay, well, that
I
sounds
totally
great.
agree with that.
Sounds great. So, Papa Doc, are you with us,
Oh,
Papa?
yes, Papa Doc. We love to hear from you.
Papa Doc, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Y'all gonna have to y'all gonna have to excuse my voice. I'm a little under the weather. you know. Um I was in that good weather in the DR for a couple of weeks. So can I ask what the topic question is? Because I wasn't here for that.
Have you ever had a crush, Papa Doc?
I have.
You have. And
Yeah.
with that being said, did it lead into a true romance?
No, that led into I got my damn feelings hurt, you know?
You
That's what
got
that
your
led
feelings
into.
hurt.
I got my
Do
feelings hurt.
tell.
Huh?
Was this
I
a
said,
young
do
crush?
tell.
Yeah,
Was
I was much younger then, and I
okay.
was, still trying to find my way far as, you know, being a young stud. I was a young stud. I'm gonna have to just put that out there like that. But um I can remember some crushes that I had. Like I said, it just didn't work out. I mean, what I wanted and what they wanted was two different things. So, um,
Okay. You said when you was a young stud. You
yeah,
sound a little seasoned. I don't want to ask your age, but you sound a little seasoned. So in
yeah, I
your
am now.
old, you are okay.
Yeah, I
So in
am
your
now.
in your older years, have you been crushing on since you've been in your middle age or your older years? Um, are you drawing your social security yet? Are
No, I'm not quite that old yet.
you not
But
quite that
even
season?
now, I'm not
Okay.
quite that seasoned. But however, I probably don't look as old as I am. I could get away with that.
Okay, so you
And
saying you still can get the young girls because
oh
they
yeah,
think
yeah,
you
yeah,
young.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I get
You
what you're
know,
saying.
my
Uh,
confidence is like that. See, now that I'm older, see when you're younger, it could be about your looks, how I look. As I'm older now, not that I don't care about my looks, but I'm just more confident in who I am as a man. So,
and
when
you,
that crush rejects me, I'm
mm.
going, you don't know nothing about, picking a man because either you want a man for his looks or you want a man for being a man. Like looks don't looks don't pay the bills. But if you want a
So
man,
what
because
you're
we
saying is, when you said that first keyword, looks don't pay the bills. So you're saying that now that you're older, you're more established,
correct,
and it come with you, there could be some form of security. So
correct,
that's where the okay, I got you, I
yeah,
got you.
correct with some protection. Like I've been hearing where women look for, or what they look for in a man is some security, some protection. Um, what's it's another word that's out there also. That's what they look for in a man. So now that
So they
we're
don't look for
older,
love no more. They don't look for love.
Nah.
love
Did
is
Ray
just what
Charles
that
Love,
say? Did
love is
love.
out the
Nancy
window.
Jackson say no?
Yeah,
That's a
I
bonus. Love is
I
a bonus.
went I
Oh,
went you I
okay.
went right. I'm with you,
It's,
brother Jackson, because here's the thing. Love is just what it is. Love. After that, you ain't got nothing. You can love the dude
Love
all
does
you
not
want.
pay bills.
I think social media kind of take love out of the relationship because everyone
Well, if
want this
y'all don't have
facade,
love, you won't
make
never have
believe life.
nothing good.
I mean,
Okay.
some
So
people have it. I'm thankful I have that, but I'm looking at outside people. I've seen other relationship. What they're looking for,
Oh, okay.
materialistic goals, or
yeah.
they set unrealistic
So
expectation. Can he buy
so
me this? What do he own? What do he have? Go ahead, Papa Doc.
so Dr. Fabulous, you can love me and I can just stay home and sit on your couch all week without having to draw a paycheck.
That's not my cup of tea. That's not my cup of tea.
Okay. So tell me, tell me how much. I mean, as older, seasoned, what can love what can love do for you besides love you? Just what it is love. That's it. But your lights off, you ain't got no food in the fridge, and this dude can't protect you. But you love him though.
Well, I always say love is the foundation, but you got to have that added extra. It's like putting up a Christmas tree. You got the tree, you got the Christmas tree, you got the Christmas tree,
With
but you
no
got to
gifts,
have the
with,
light.
with no gifts under the
Ornaments.
tree.
You you
No
got
gifts
the
under the
Don't
Christmas
tree.
forget the
tree,
stars. Don't
but
forget the
you got to
stars
have
now.
the light. You got to have the tinsel. You got to have all of that good stuff to make that Christmas tree look right. So it's just why I always say you got to have love as the foundation, and you got to have those added extras to come along with love.
that,
Okay,
that
y'all,
tree
this background noise. See, listen, I always tease Lady T about having young children. But tonight I'm super grandma. So I got my youngest grandbaby here, and like I said, she doesn't care where she is. She gonna let it be known that I am grandma. So if you all hear this background noise, I'm trying to mute it out because we're being recorded, but she does not care. So if I go mute in the middle of my conversation, you all know that the grandbaby was trying to get my attention. But yes, Papa Doc, in your older year, you of course love can't keep the lights on,
that,
and love
that
can't
tree
do a lot of things.
that
But when you love someone
hmm
in their hardest, in your darkest time, you're gonna
hmm
stick through it because you're supposed to have one another's back. So, with that being said, Leanne, you got your hand up.
Yes,
I'm
so
I
gonna let
do.
you
wait a
come on
minute,
with
wait a minute.
Papa Doc.
So how many weeks can I get on that couch? You loving
How
me
many
and
weeks you can get? Look, I don't have a couch. My home is not set up for individuals to lay on my couch. My home is very decorative. It
okay.
is very decorative, and you just come and sit on my couch. We don't lay on the couch. We don't do any of that. So
Oh man.
you don't have any
It's
weeks.
like a crush. It's like a crush. Papa Doc.
What? Wait.
I think
You
so
trying to
too,
make an
Nancy
appointment?
Jack.
I'm gonna have to find you a couch somewhere to lay, Papa Doc.
But you love me though, man. You know what I'm saying? You love me. You
Love
know.
doesn't come like that. That's not how.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no.
okay,
Let me tell you, because first of all,
okay.
someone
Get them
went on
straight,
appearance.
Leanne.
You don't really do appearance when you're like, whoever says something about the 40, 50, 60 year, you really don't do looks because a person like me, your looks are your God given. That's something you cannot change
Right.
unless you like, let's not do weight. I'm talking about your appearance, your facial features, that's your God given. So, Lady T will tell you, I don't call people ugly. My friends get mad at me because I don't, but you can't really call a person ugly because that's their God given.
Yeah,
They
I
may
don't
be
have that word in my
unattractive.
vocabulary.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't have that word in my vocabulary neither. There's
Yes, I don't call people ugly because you know that's those are your God givens. Okay, let's talk about love. Infatuation is not love. So when you have that crush, you're not in love with that person. You're infatuated with that person. Love takes work before you can even get there as far as telling somebody I love you when you meet them. That's just not how it works. So let's get back to the couch. What you mean laying on the couch? I put in the chat. Men and women do look for the same thing. Like I say, that pension plan. You're not working for someone, you're working for yourself. You're working for your happiness when you retire. And it's easier to bring in someone if they have the same thing you have or more, some kind of help. So yes, men look for money and women do too. So I don't know about that couch unless you bringing in that disability. That's a big check. So hello,
Well, Papa Docs, I guess she told you.
that big.
Well, but wait a minute though. See, you skipped over the thing. See, and I think
No,
this
you
is
said
how.
love and some whatever else you
Right.
said. I
So what
had the
happened to the
answer.
love? What happened to the
Love
love?
doesn't come that way. You
That's
meet Jane Doe. You meet Jane Doe. She's not gonna just love you off the bat.
correct. Okay.
Nobody's gonna love
Okay.
anyone off the bat.
Okay. So you meet me, everything's going well, we fall in love, okay, and then
You use the
I
word
fall out
fall
of
in
work.
love. Okay.
Yeah.
And you
Then I
working,
fall
you
out of
working, you working when I meet you?
yes.
Okay,
I
what
got it going
happened?
on. And
Mm-hmm.
then stuff happens, and then it fall off. I still love you, you still love me. I just ain't got no income coming in right
You
now.
better
And
get some damn disability.
hey, that's a
and,
whole
and,
lot of love. I see how
and,
much
fi-
you love me.
and
I
file
see
for
how
that
much you
Social
love me.
Security.
I
No,
see how much you love me.
nobody's trying to knock on hard times. Nobody.
I see how
Nobody
much you
wants
love
to
me.
knock on. No, it has nothing to do with
But
that.
I think
Hey,
It
Papa
can
Doc have a
happen to
point
her too.
right there.
It could happen to her too.
say what now?
Yeah, because
It could happen to her
I
too.
think I agree with you, Papa Doc.
I
Because
didn't hear you. Say it
love
again,
is
bro.
unconditional. You feel me? I say
Right.
I agree with you, Papa Doc. Like love
Yeah.
is conditional. So once you fall in love with a person with sickness and health, whatever the vow you pledge when you get married, right?
Right.
Right.
Things happen in a relationship when the person can lose their job, the company lay them off. He say, "Well, since you're not working, I'm gonna put you out." You feel me? Because it happens to both a male and female. It's how y'all get through together and pick the pieces up. Say, "Hey, you know what?" Because sometimes when a man get down, they need encouragement to, "Hey, let's try to get you back on your feet," or what's a plan of help you build your resume up and get another opportunity. Vice versa for a woman as well. She may get laid off, or the company move
That's what I
overseas. Or they
said.
just
It works for
yeah,
women too.
yeah.
And a
But
man is not going to date a broke woman.
I think
A
women
man is
have
not
less
going to date a
patience.
broke woman either.
I disagree with that. I think women. I disagree
Yeah.
with that because men are trained by society to be the protector and a breadwinner.
Yes.
You feel me? But I think women,
Right.
like I have sisters, right? So I listen to how my sister talks at times, right? She wouldn't want to date. She would want to put her business out there, right? She's a professional woman, right? She's a doctor as well, right? A well-educated woman, but she was a man to come and pick the pieces up, but she want to do the same for another man. You feel me? So a woman, they have their degree in their career, but they want like a Prince Charming to come and take care of all the household bill, the expense, and they could just serve the sunset. Most men, like the men's I'm associating myself with, my brother feather flock together. We don't say I'm looking for a woman to come take him, because if a guy talk like that, their expectations very low, and like this to me is a bum type of guy. So most men are like the breadwinner. I'm more like old school thinking. You know what I'm saying? So maybe because I have my own business or the things I do, I got to make sure I can provide, take care of my family. So if I can't take care of my family as a man, it can put a lot of stress on me. If my wife doesn't want, thank God she's working, but if she chooses not to work, whatever the condition is, I'm able to take care of my family and make sure we move forward, and life should be Gucci, I guess. Or, we have ups and downs, but try to keep the family afloat.
I think that
That
men
was
would have
well
more.
stated, Nasty Jackson. I like
Yeah.
that. Because
I
you
think
gave
men would
your
have.
wife the opportunity, if she wants to work, she
Yeah.
can. And if she doesn't have to, because you're the man, you're the breadwinner. All
That's
right
a
now.
woman. That's what women want in a day. That's because women don't want to work up until like 65, 70 years old. They can find a guy going to take care of them. Because just think about other cultures, like in the Muslim culture, or the Jewish culture, or other, ethnic group. Men are the one that's providing for the woman. They stay home, take care of the kids, and make sure the kids have the best education, so their kids become successful and run a family business, and so forth. Because both parents are working, sometimes it limits the opportunity for the children to succeed or try to have a nuclear family. I believe having a nuclear family, both man and woman in the household. Sometimes the woman have to work less hours while the man go out there and provide. Athletes do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? They got to sacrifice for the
Nasty
family.
Jackson, honey, if you were not married,
She would
Okay,
marry
I know.
you now.
I hear all that. So I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much.
Woo!
But that's the honest
She
truth,
is
though. You know
not
what I'm saying?
alone.
Somebody said something, we missed it.
I said she is not alone. I would marry you too.
That's
Thank you. I
right.
feel special.
So, with that being said, I'm going to ask Mr. Beard, Beard One. Mr. Beard One, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, he called me the ma'am, y'all. That hey y'all, listen, I'm determined. I got ADHD. Y'all know I'll be turning 59 come March 28th. Please stick around because I'm working on my 60th birthday party already. It's gonna be an all-white yacht party. 60. Oh my God. But 59, I'm feeling fine. And I want y'all to know
You
it's
said
coming
sweet six.
March
You said
8th.
16, right? You be 16.
No, honey, I feel fabulous. But what I'm saying is I'm gearing up for 60. I feel like I'm gonna jump over 59, but I'm gearing up for that 60th all white yacht party. But what I was getting ready to say to Mr. Beard, you said that you met some women with crushes and it turned out all right. You all just happened to go your separate ways. Now, when you go your separate ways from a crush, um, I think that a crush is temporarily. Mr. Beard, how long did your crush last when you say it was all right? You all expanded on that crush. How long did it last? Because I always think a crush is temporarily, like a week, a month, no longer than a month.
Now I've had some that lasted up to 3 to 6 months. You're
Oh,
still trying to explore somebody at that point. I don't think you start getting into the weeds of who somebody really is until at least after 6 months.
okay, so your crush basically you was trying to transform the crush into a relationship. Is
I
that
mean,
what you was doing?
once we started dating and stuff, I mean, I thought that was supposed to be the goal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They
No, because
spoke on it.
when I crush on someone, it's more so admiration, infatuation, things like that. I guess I would say that's like Tasha have a crush on Chris Brown. My infatuation is always it may be somebody in my circle that I'm crushing on, but I'm not going to bring that to the forefront because my crush is in my subconscious mind. It's just me in my mind knowing about this crush. So I never crushed on someone that it actually became reality. So your crushes came to reality.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
it's like with the Chris Brown thing. It's like a physical, imaginary, admiration and
right.
crush. Yeah. But have
It's
you
not
ever?
imaginary. We are going to get
Okay.
together. All I need to do is get to that concert, and he's gonna say, and I'm gonna
He's
show
gonna pick
y'all
you
what I'm
out of
working
all the
with.
people out of the concert. I hear you. Okay.
So
A
But
don't
no,
fantasy.
forget,
that's what I think
like,
a crush is.
nah, with like some of the ones I've had is like being around people, when you kind of think they pretty or whatever, but you don't really say much about them. But the more y'all in mixed company, the more you get to find out about each other, the more you realize that you really feeling that person or you really into that person. And you be like, yo, man, this person a whole lot doper than I gave him credit for. You know what I mean?
Mm,
In the beginning, I thought they was all right, but her mentality or the way she moved, her sexiness, her aura is a whole different entity. And then next thing you really feeling that person to that
oh,
point. But I still call it a crush because you haven't acknowledged it. You know what I mean? To her, or really just acknowledge it to yourself at that point. So now, you know what I'm saying? You see them in a different light than you did on, say, first introductions or first date or whatever. You see a little bit deeper than just the physicality. You know what I mean? So now you want to see how that person acts in the role as my woman or in the role as my equal.
no.
I want to see if she can still carry and maneuver herself that way. And then you start, next thing you know, you start a relationship and you actually try to answer them questions that you was up at night wondering.
Okay, I got you. I hear you, Mr. Beard. So we go from checking them, then you get a little deeper to feeling them, and then you expound. I got it. I got it. Maybe I need to rework my crushes, man, because mine is just infatuation. It's not something that I can feel or touch. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Lady T for a hot minute, and I'm gonna come back to you. It's like a station break. Okay.
You're funny. So my question for everyone, I would like to hear from everyone. Have you ever had that crush and you executed it, you took it to the next level, but then when you went to the bedroom, you were like, oh no, I'm not feeling this. Let's start off with Jerome.
Jerome is gone.
Oh no.
You
What
done
about you,
ran
Papa Doc?
Jerome off. You gonna have to get with Papa Docs, Mr. Beer, Nancy Jackson, or Feel Good.
Papa Doc, you're next on my screen. Oh wait.
I'm sorry. No, I'm here.
Comes
I'm here.
Jerome.
I'm here.
Okay, have you ever had a crush on someone and you executed and then you took it to the next level, but when you got to the bedroom, you were like, oh no, I'm not.
I was saying, Dr. Phil, Jerome was back to ask the question next.
Yes, no, I'm sorry, I made a mistake and hit the end call. No, that never happened. No, that never happened. That's unfortunate if that does happen to somebody. But no, that never happened to me.
You know what? Okay, let's
That's
say
like
it.
that's like one of those things where in that situation that would be like the thought of being with you is better than actually being with you. I don't know if
Mhm.
that like I've heard that saying before, but the thought is better than actually being with the person.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay,
Okay,
Papa Doc,
Lady T has happened to me before.
it has.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Papa Doc is next, and then you.
Yeah, the funny thing is it's happened both ways. Like, um, somebody had a crush on me, and they proceeded, were coming forth to me, and when we got down to it, it was like, oh man, like this ain't gonna work.
Should have had the
It's like this ain't gonna work, and it was like a complete turn off, you know. And well, it was like this. It happened, and it never happened again, you know. So
Okay. Okay. All right, Leanne, your turn.
Hey, so I'm gonna say it like Papa Doc did, but the way I did it to not be offensive. I went in that bathroom and I was just throwing up and taking a shit. I was like, I had gotten sick just from the.
What?
Wait, I'm trying to hear this, Leanne. You said you got sick.
I got sick when the pants came off, and I was like, "Oh shit, I can't do this."
Oh.
So I went to the bathroom. I was throwing up and shit. I got sick. So like Papa Doc said, that wasn't gonna happen no more. I couldn't even let it happen, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So I just told him I wasn't feeling well, and he already knew I wasn't feeling.
When size doesn't matter, what y'all say? What women said, size doesn't matter.
It wasn't that
It's
not
not
wanting to
about
get
size.
anybody sick. It just
Mhm.
was not appealing. It was not appealing. No. Oh God. Let me tell you. I just couldn't. I couldn't step to that one. So it happens, and like you said, you could be butt naked and it can happen. And you want to run out the door, but to keep from running out the door, you just get sick. That's all you have to do. Just get sick. You
And
can't hurt people's
Leanne, you really
feelings. You
made
just get.
yourself throw up.
Girl, yeah, all you have to do is say you got to go to the bathroom and stick your finger down your throat. All of your clothes.
Oh, Leanne.
And then the thought of it's gonna make you sick anyway. So I had to use the bathroom. Oh my
Okay,
God.
ladies and gentlemen, there's a little trick.
There's a trick. Yeah, the men can do it too. If you get in that room with somebody and you don't want to be with them, you're not gonna hurt their feelings. You're gonna get sick and get the hell up out of there. You'll be all right. Even if you have to spend the night, just put the pillow between you and go to sleep and moan and groan and go to sleep. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm sick.
How is that even possible if y'all get that close to being intimate and get sick? It doesn't make any sense. Like,
it happens. It happens.
like I never heard
It
that.
happens.
And break it down for Nasty Jackson.
It happens.
Yeah. All of a sudden it get cold and they're going it starts snowing in the room. Yeah.
But from being a crush to be like, oh my God, it doesn't make any sense. Like how like a cloud 9 to like 0, you know.
Yeah, but Nasty Jackson, you just been blessed, okay?
Let me break it down for you, Nasty Jackson.
Okay, go ahead.
You feeling it, you got that rush going, you tingling, then you get to the bedroom, you're like, I can't do this. What is wrong with me? And you go to the bathroom and you get sick. I don't care what you do.
You got to do something.
Whatever. You just don't want to do what you thought you wanted to do. Put the pillow in the bed. Y'all can cuddle all night. Like
we ain't cuddling. We going to sleep when I'm sick, and when the morning come, I'm taking my ass home.
Dr. Feelgood, can you interject? Because I guess you never experienced what they're talking about, right? I guess he's.
Dr.
No, I had to get to my mic. The biggest thing is that we all had that person who we were turned on and turned out until something happened, and then it just like it went from 100 to 0 in a heartbeat. A lot of times it has to do with hygiene.
Oh yeah, that can make the difference.
If the person is looking good, y'all college. I know I'll be in the college, you be in the club dancing and stuff, and she looking good, and y'all vibing, and y'all head to the spot, and then drawers come off, and it smell like Fish Market Square. Be like,
can I say one thing? Woo! Damn, I got to go. Shoot.
But no, and I understand dudes do, because I know one time in college, I ain't washed, so I know I smelled like roasted nuts. and she all of a sudden forgot something at her spot. So but I knew it was me though, because I was funky. I was funky like 10-day-old collard greens.
Oh, now you ought to be a.
Now that's right. That's nasty.
No,
that's nasty.
Look, when you dancing and you back in the 80s, I don't know, some of y'all been back there in them hot ass hole in the wall clubs where ain't no AC, and you dancing and they playing that push it, they playing that.
Push it real good.
Yeah, they putting all that music on there, and you dancing, and everybody dancing and having a good time, and then afterward you trying to get with somebody. Boy, y'all both y'all done played in the gym.
You better
listen, Dr. Feelgood. So those scenes that you see on the movies where they just kick down the door and then just get straight to it, and they done been everywhere, everywhere. We know that's all television, right? And
that's television. Not to say that it don't happen. It's possibly can happen, but probably no, because smells turn people on, and they can
off.
People off.
And off.
I love a good smelling man.
And off.
Down, you got me with that.
So yeah, I'm just saying it. I've been on both ends. I've been on both ends because, like I said, sometimes you can't smell a smell until it's showtime. And you know,
I'm
sometimes you
sorry.
can,
I think I could smell my smell, prior to showtime.
and
That
then
means go get some soap and water and wash.
yeah, no, I agree. But a lot of times, you know, and this, I'm just telling you how guys think. We're like, you know, we do a quick sniff test. Because, you know, if we smell something funky, we thinking it's us. First, we making sure it ain't us.
Cause you gonna do the finger test with the woman too. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I look, I.
But you know, let me say this:
Fabulous. Go ahead, Dr. Fabulous.
it makes you very conscious before you get into that position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least most people that's got their mind right. Some people just don't give a damn, but
Exactly.
you know,
They
but
I call it dumpster diving, Papa Doc.
yeah, you know,
If you're going down on somebody who's funky, whether it's man or woman,
yeah,
you dumpster diving.
yeah, you dumpster diving. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, Dr. Jackson, I love your face. What are your thoughts?
Unfortunately, I haven't experienced that honestly, because I guess when I was young, I had a crush. When I came to America, at the time, I didn't have the flyest gear, so it's more like a wish type situation. When I got to college, it was like a different scenario. But it's mostly when I was younger, like in high school, like a girl's very attractive, or I was shy. I wasn't confident enough at the time I wasn't outspoken to like approach them. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like, I guess, a fantasy kind of crush type situation. So being with my crush, I never had an experience, honestly. So I couldn't tell you what it's like. Because, like I say, when I got to this country, the foreigner, when you don't have the proper gear like the Nikes and the name brand clothes, you may see an attractive girl, but you're not going to be able to attract her because you're not up to their standard at a time. Make sense?
Yes,
Absolutely.
you wearing bobos and not
Exactly.
Jordans. Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can remember at the time when I got this country, the slogan was "Rejects make it feel fit fine. Reject costs $1.49." So that always stuck in my head from from elementary school because I came from Jamaica, having tennis shoes, I was happy. When I got to school, I ended up with Nike, Timberlands. Because like my dad is first generation, came here with the immigrant. He just buying payless, and you're happy to have some fresh gear. When you got to school, it was up the part, and you kind of crush your self-esteem as a young kid. So like, I didn't get confidence. I got to college when I started playing football. You know what I'm saying? In high school, that's when I kind of build myself up. But as a adolescent, middle school, and early part of high school, it's more like, I ain't saying I got it. I'm just being honest with you. Only thing I know at the time, I had a nice, no, so cocky. I had a nice body because I played football, so I worked out a lot. I was in tip-top shape. When I got to college now, me being like from the island, that's when the early 2000s, Sean Paul, the Jamaican culture has some attraction. You know what I'm saying? Me living in Mississippi, I was being teased because I had an accent. I had a lot of breakdown as my early years, like living in Alabama, Mississippi, I was being teased, calling Jamaican Mateka, African booty scratcher. So all those breakdown, it happened to me. So like, I know what it feels like. So you may see a pretty girl have a crush on because you've been humiliated in the younger years. You didn't want to go try to approach her. Then she break your self-esteem. It's like, oh, you could just, I can't relate to you guys.
Yeah, I bet you they see
experience
you
having
now,
a crush.
Nancy Jackson. They say, "Damn,
Oh,
I missed out,
it's different.
man."
Exactly. That's what we were talking about earlier. Women in their younger years than their prime, as a guy get older and get more established, his stock goes up. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that as I got older, I wasn't doing drugs. So as in my 40s, I look at my 30s. You feel me? So some of the things I missed out
That's
on,
like me.
I was
That
yeah
59. I'm looking like
yeah
47 sunshine.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So me being in my 40s, I don't look like in my 40s because I wasn't the one in a popular group smoking, drinking. It was cool at the time, but I was the outcast. Does it make sense?
Yes, because I was with you.
Yeah.
Do anyone else want to answer that question? We have probably a minute left.
Mr. Beard had his hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Beard. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna lie. I kind of forgot what I was saying or what I had on my mind.
Mr. Beard, we're gonna get you some Dean Cobra.
Nah,
That's what
it's
we're
just
gonna get.
it's been a little
Lion's
bit,
mane, lion's mane.
but
No,
but
the question is, once you take it to that next level and you get to the bedroom and you're like, I'm not feeling this.
oh
How
yeah,
would you react?
hey, I don't care what none of them say. It happens, and to guys, and they don't like it. We talk about it, but women like to act like it only happens to them, like the dudes don't measure up, or he ain't know what he doing, or all of the other stuff. That stuff happen to guys. You got women out here who talk just as much gas as guys do about what they gonna do when they catch them, and be around here biting people like they vampires. Got people out here who don't know what they doing and sit there just laying there and look at you like, all right, I mean, I ain't gonna say like, are you done yet? But like, they don't know what they do with themselves. And you be sitting here like, man, and that's the worst thing in the world. Men experience it too. Women, just like dudes, gas up themselves and then go in there and just bolo the whole trip. Women do that stuff too. And actually, I've had the Dr. Feel Good moment a couple of times where, you know, stuff didn't smell right. And he absolutely right. You first thing you do is smell yourself. And then when you realize it ain't you, then it's time to go. I've never ever went as far as did the finger test, because I mean, you definitely can smell it from a little bit further off than not. But you know, circumstances are circumstances. Yeah, the senses ain't gonna lie.
All right. Well, guys, this has been an amazing show. I really enjoyed myself. So I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Feelgood to close us out.
All right, now, ladies and gents, you know, you're having a crush, staying close, staying strong, staying long, and don't be wrong. I want y'all to come back next week so we can get it in. We'll let you speak. Go ahead, Beard. Oh, Beard one had his hand up, now down. Now, so now I'm not going to play the clown. Dr. Fab, you looking so good. I'm going to keep it right and keep it wood. Lady T, you down with me? You know, you got a husband, but you always see. Everybody else, be yourself so you can always not be short as an elf. Dr. Feelgood signing off, passing it back to the Doc Fab.
Well, you all, thank you so much for coming. This has been, I give you, Tasha, 10 fingers tall for being able to be a mom, a
Excuse me, Lady T.
podcaster.
Excuse me, Lady T.
Yeah, Lady T, I'm gonna give it all to you because this has been such a night for me, even though I love my podcast. I will never, ever take on the, how can I say, grandma ship on the night of my podcast because this has been a night. But I want to tell everyone, thank you so much for coming. And guess what, y'all? Smooches 2 times. Mwah, mwah. Good night. I got to go.
Good
Have a good
night.
one, y'all.